Hi, Kurt. How are you?
Thanks, Siddharth. Thanks for having me back on the show. It's been a
You're most
while.
welcome. Yeah, you're
Oh,
right. I was meant to have it, I think, weeks ago, but then something happened, and then I'm happy that you're all healthy and well.
no, life goes on. But yeah, I'm here. I'm still kicking.
Awesome. All right, before I get to my questions with you, can you kindly give me some background on LeConnect?
So LeConnect, how it started was that after I launched a book and revealed that I'm dyslexic, and I had lots of people coming up to me and saying like, "How did you do it? Why did you do it?" That type of thing, and that put a seed. And I said, you know what? I need to start talking about issues that people don't want to bring to the fore. And I know I was very much like that. I only last year came out and said that I'm dyslexic. So that was the start. There's different. We want to talk to people in business that's starting out, people with dyslexia, ADHD. Come and talk about what you have. When you hide it, nobody knows what it's about, and then they label you. Like I was labeled when I was young, but I fought and I have my own business today. It doesn't make you stupid.
Mm.
And I think there's other aspects, trafficking, that type of thing. My sister went missing, and I believe it's due to trafficking and her knowing information about it. So I want to talk to anybody, and also with LeConnect, there is a online site. So if you're starting out a business and you want to tell people about what do you do, we are happy to put your product online, and people can then access it and make it easier for you, so you don't have to have an online. Yeah, so I just want to spread the word, help people um, do that type of thing, if that makes sense to you.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right. My opening question to you is LeConnect is about meaningful, real-world conversations. How does your personal journey align with the idea of growth through shared experience?
The thing is, because I was dyslexic, I kind of kept everything to myself and fought my own battles and navigated oh, whatever I needed to do. Now, LeConnect will be that platform where people can openly speak about how they feel, or if they've got friends or family, and express yourself and hopefully make a difference in their lives.
Neurodiversity is a key focus of this platform. From your perspective, what do you think society still misunderstands most about dyslexia in children?
If you look at society, I'm going to speak firstly more about the schools. When you're at school, your mates, fellow classmates, whatever, when you have dyslexia, they just look at you and think, you're stupid, you can't read, you can't spell.
Mm,
That's not the end of life. Because what I've found out is that once you leave school, does people come up to you and say, can you spell this for me? Or read this? It does happen occasionally, but with technology, with all the platforms that we have, it makes life so much easier. So um, where I sit now and I look at it and I think dyslexia is just an excuse.
mm,
And I find lots of people, especially in the non-white communities, because they don't have information about dyslexia, I
mm,
find that they will rather turn to gangsterism because then it's
mm.
hidden. But that guy in a gang is very, very um, studious. I mean, he has all the abilities to become something. And he chooses to become a gangster because nobody questions or doesn't ask him to read when you wanted to join the gang or
Mm.
spell. So that's, I think that's the stance, is getting people out there to talk about what they currently have and where they want to go.
Awesome. All right. I've got two questions here for you in the comment. I think the first one here is from Jitin Rishika. Hi,
Mm.
Kurt. Are there any service charges for advertising on LeConnect? And then the second part is just more of a comment. Dyslexic people are more gifted than others. Okay. All right. You can respond now.
Okay, I'm going to take the dyslexic one and the more gifted. You know, I don't want to put people with dyslexia on a pedestal. Yes, we think differently. And I've found over the years that, when I spoke to people and you engaging in them, we tend to think a lot further ahead. And when you say stuff, they look at you like, what are you saying?
Hmm.
So I don't want to say we're more gifted. I want to say we think differently to the man on the street. So when you're interacting with them, just listen.
Mhm.
9 out of 10 times, it's not what you want to hear,
Hmm.
but they or dyslexics kind of think a few steps ahead of where they should be. So, very good question, and I hope it shares relevance on the question they asked. The second one again, if you just want to repeat that, please, Stian.
Sure. Sure. This one is, hi, Kurt. Are there any service charges for advertising on LeConnect?
So when you say service charges, the thing, if I interview anybody, there's no charge at all.
Okay.
With your product and also advertising, there's no charge. But with the
Okay.
product and the sale of whatever you're selling, say you're selling a cake and you're
Yeah.
based in KZN, yes, there's a small percentage that we take just to keep the podcast going. Yeah. So the thing is, I don't want it to be a money-making scheme. I want people to get the message out there, their business, whatever if it's a family dispute and they want to air it, I'm glad to talk about it.
Awesome. Many parents struggle to support children with learning differences. What practical advice would you offer them based on what you've seen or experienced?
I know, all parents are different. And I found when I was a youngster and I was at school, my mom, the school called her in and said, your son has a problem with reading and you must go to a special school. And my mom was like, there's absolutely nothing wrong with my son because at home, do I sit and read to my mom? No. And do I spell? And yes, if I studied, I could do the exam and I would get decent marks. But ask me to spell the following day. It's forgotten. So, when everybody's different and I think the parents need to research before they condemn their kids because everybody is different. And not because you're not making it in society means that you're a dropout. That person could have something that would change the world. So I'll reach out to the parents, consult, talk to your kids, find out what can you do to assist them. Because you don't want to put your kid in a closet and not let friends know, oh, my son's got this. And when you say dyslexia, it sounds so bad, and ADHD. And I mean, my son has ADHD. And I didn't know. And how do I deal with it? But one of the things that he told me, and only last year, now he's 27, he says, Dad, do you know when you used to say to me, you need to go study? I would say, yeah. He said, I never studied. So I'm like, why not? He says, because I got a photographic memory.
Oh,
So he would open a book, look at the pages, and go to write an exam.
wow.
So those are the things that some of the kids might have that they could utilize to their benefit. So I say, parents, don't give up on your kids. There's always a way out.
Oh, that's awesome. LeConnect emphasizes authentic dialogue rather than lectures. Why do you believe storytelling is such a powerful tool for awareness and change?
Uh, you know, there's, I feel that storytelling it comes more from the heart. It's what you've experienced.
That's true.
When you have stuff that they just talk about it, one of the things that I find that like in school, it's very generalized, the stuff that they teach you. Whereas my dyslexia, the way I got around it and the way somebody else would do it would be totally different. I think my saving grace was that I was good at art and I was good at sport. But I've looked back and realized that my sporting ability, I would only push it to the point that I proved, you can make the interzonal, you can make the Natal rugby team. Once I got that, I was like, job done. I've got the T-shirt. Next. So that's the things that I did. Other people need to find what works for them and implement it. And I'm not saying go sell drugs. That's an easy way, but I don't think that's the way that a person should go.
Lifestyle and mindset are central themes here. How has navigating difficult life experiences shaped your own resilience and outlook on life?
Uh, the resilient part, that's what I would look at, is that
Mhm.
my living in SA was, you always doubted yourself.
Mhm.
And I don't want to say there was no opportunity, but where I found an opening was when I traveled and I lived 3 years abroad. And then I realized that whatever you thought, you could make it a reality. And yes, I started a business in the UK. It was cleaning houses.
Okay.
And that showed me that, you know what, if you put your mind to it, you could do anything. And I cleaned for 9 months, so many different houses. I cleaned for a lady whose husband was the ambassador for the Australia. There was a lady, she was an artist. There were so many people that I met, and I conversed with them. They didn't ask, "Are you dyslexic? Did you have a learning problem or anything like that?" I spoke to them, and they saw me. Firstly, in South Africa, if you clean a house, you're a maid. You're not. You're a person that does a job and
Mhm.
earns a financial, um, financially you're supporting yourself.
Mm.
The other thing I've also learned is that how people work, um, if you're cleaning a house, it gives you opportunity to steal. And I've realized how, when we had maids and that,
Mhm.
how they operated. If you say, I lost something, automatically gets found. If you do not look for that or need it within a month or two, it's gone.
Mm.
So I've learned a lot from doing stuff like that. I know everybody doesn't want to do that type of job, but it's a stepping stone to where you want to be. And if I hadn't done that, I wouldn't have been in a place where I am now. So I don't know if that answers your question, but that's how I feel.
Wow. Okay. The platform speaks about inclusion and understanding across different perspectives. How can conversations around neurodiversity become more inclusive and less stigmatized?
Okay, it sounds very higher grade, but anyway. um, Diversity. Just run that by me again, please.
Sure, sure, sure. I was saying the platform speaks about inclusion and understanding across different perspectives. How can conversations around neurodiversity become more inclusive and less stigmatized?
Yeah, so there's a lot of, especially in South Africa, you stigmatize no matter what you do,
Mhm.
what color you are. And I think at this stage, we shouldn't be that way. And the more and more I'm finding that happens, when people talk about, like, who are you? What are you? Like, I know I was labeled colored when I was born. Now I find people are calling me white. What makes me white? Yes, I've had DNA, and yes, I do have half white, and I have Mauritian, Indian heritage. I have African, Central African, and I'm not. Some people don't want to speak about it. That's who I am. I have Spanish. So I always wondered,
Wow.
why did I enjoy Latino music?
Mm.
That was my answer. My son was born with chinky eyes. I was like, my God, where did he get those chinky eyes? Filipino.
Wow.
So when I had that done, it opened my eyes to so much. And don't condemn anyone else um, before you know who you are. And now I know who I am. I mean, I'm 3% Kenyan. Who would have thought
Wow.
that? I mean, the list goes on. I was blown away. But that is the truth. And I mean, I know some people say, I'm pure. Nobody's pure. I'm telling you from my research, just take a blood test. It'll open your eyes. Yeah.
Awesome.
So I
Hmm.
think people need to understand each other first. I don't care where you come from. If you're a good person, the only thing I can do is treat you as a decent person. Not because of your heritage, I have to now turn and say, "Ah, I don't want to speak to you because you're from this place." No, no, no. Absolutely not.
Well said. When discussing heavy topics like human trafficking or learning challenges, how do you balance emotional honesty with hope and solutions?
Yo, that human traffic one is actually a very delicate one. Um, you know, especially when you've been touched by that type of a scenario where my sister went missing, and the
Mm.
reason why she went missing because her ex was involved in human trafficking, and she found out. Uh, it's difficult because I also found out that those type of things is always attached to people with a lot of might. They can take you out and not think anything of it. It's all about the financial gain. Um, I don't want to get into that type of thing. All I want to say to people out there is, especially ladies, I know one of the things that currently is out there that they coaxing ladies to go work abroad. And once you get there, you're gone. And I would rather say, think seriously before you leave. It always sounds like a bed of roses abroad, but you don't know what you're setting yourself up for. So um, I'd say just think carefully before you decide you want to go work abroad and make sure that you're in a safe environment. Um, yeah, that's the way I feel.
LeConnect focuses on solution-oriented conversations. What small but meaningful actions can individuals take to support vulnerable children and communities?
Uh, so it sounds like LeConnect is we very early, but I would like to assist where I can, whoever it might be. And my thing is to put people in touch with the right people.
Mm.
I know a lot of it because I've been there. It's like something is up, but you need to go see a doctor. And when you say doctor, it costs money.
Mm.
So my way is to look at what's available out there and assist people where they can find. I'm not saying absolutely free, but if that happens, that's a bonus. Um, it's just opening people's eyes to what's available out there. I know at first glance you look and say, I can't find that. What do I do? So we will assist in helping the people that come to the fore, and hopefully it'll make a difference in their lives because that's what LeConnect is. It's connecting people. And connection is always somebody that has something to share with you and somebody that has a problem and you can solve it. So, so I think that's what LeConnect wants to do.
Awesome. Growth often comes from discomfort. How has engaging with difficult truth changed you personally?
So, yeah, you're right. Growth does come with difficult scenarios. But what I'm saying to people, like difficulty in one is like if people don't want to be honest about them being dyslexic. And I've met lots of people and they're in high powered jobs and they come to me and secretly say, please don't share this, but I think I'm dyslexic. So I said, so? No, but if I tell people I'm dyslexic, I'll lose my job. Why would you lose your job if you've been doing it for 10, 20 years? You can still, and I'm just using dyslexia as a platform, but there's other scenarios. But don't let issues govern your decisions because you think you're not. I know I was one of those. And if I wasn't given a boot from behind, I'd still be in the closet. And I must say, it's not cool in the closet. Speak your mind, let people hear. But also when I say speak your mind, I don't mean that you have to have a go at somebody and people might agree with you, might not. I'm not here to fight with people. I'm here to share what I have. And if they can use it positively, then that's a bonus. And I think that's the only way is to talk, but think about everybody, not only yourself.
Lastly, finally, if there's one message you'd want LeConnect listeners to take away from your story, what would it be?
The thing is, if LeConnect can put you in touch with the help that you need, and what I've found is that, once you get older and you get to a position, and I can just go to a doctor and pay. What about those that cannot afford it? And I'm almost certain there has to be somebody out there, and I've met some people, and I will be interviewing them on LeConnect. And I don't question that they're going to say financially they have to pay X amount. It's about helping where one can help. Yes, I mean, I've had people that have seen it like, oh, can you give me funding? And I'm like, you know what? If I give you, that means I have to give everybody. And I don't think I'm in that state. And I mean, I think it was last year I helped a mate and I hadn't seen him for like almost 30 years. And I went to see him and, I saw the state that he was in and I gave him some money and that to assist in his family life. And the next month he sends me his bank details again. It's like, I also have a family. I also have to live. I have expenses. So you cannot help every single one financially, but I can assist in maybe getting the right person to speak to you and assist you that way. So people must think it's not always about finance or money. It's how we can assist somebody in getting the right or the right person to speak to that person. So I think that's where I'd like to take it.
Awesome. All I got to say is, Curtis, thanks so much for your time, and I hope to catch up with you once again soon.
No, that's awesome. And I think hopefully I can turn the tables around and invite you to LeConnect, and you can tell us your story, because I think you always mask behind asking questions. And I think it would help. And I'm glad. I'd be ecstatic if people could start following you and sharing what you're sharing. To me, that's the way forward. I find that when I speak and I say, I'm starting a podcast, but I do one. Why you? I am not in competition with you. If I can assist you, I would gladly do it. I mean, I want to do it, and it's not for monetary value. It's where I can assist somebody. And if I can
Awesome.
assist you, I will gladly do it.
Awesome. All right. We shall catch up soon. Thanks so much.
No, thanks for having me. You take care.